Hello everyone, my name is Mohit, and in this presentation slide, I will be discussing about my MOOC course, Entrepreneurship Development, and I will be telling what are the learnings which I have taken from this MOOC course. So first, let's talk about entrepreneurship development. So entrepreneurship development is a backbone for any country, for any economy. As we know, as the company growth, as the company grows in a country, the economy has also grown up. The company and the development and the job and other things are related to the company and the ecosystem of entrepreneurship development. So if the more entrepreneurship happen in India or in a specific country, it's a high chance of that like the country has a good job opportunity and other let's get into next slide. So entrepreneurship physiology and mindset traits and motivation. Suppose if I want to run my company, so what are the physiology should a mindset of an entrepreneur? So first of all, it's it's totally upon an individual, but when we talk about a set of people, in most cases, it has been seen that whenever a person who is starting his company or doing some startup or something other like doing some entrepreneurship, it is seen that the entrepreneur has a good motivation and drive and to do to something or to change something. Suppose if I want to run a company related to hardware or I want to build something related to the healthcare, so it's my motivation drive which helps me to put hours to a specific idea. And there are some common traits which are found in entrepreneurs, like problem solving skills. Suppose if I want to build a next chip or microchip, something related to hardware, like nowadays, like AI as a buzzword, and I want to build my own graphic card or something like that. So it's totally dependent on my risk capability as well because I cannot spend my entire money on a specific thing in the entrepreneurs, right? A lot of so let's get into next slide. So next we have ecosystem support for the entrepreneurs. Like as in the smoke course, we have discussed or I have seen the instructor was telling about the government scheme and other. Further on, I research about some other platform as I aware about it earlier. Like so, there are a lot of things which are open to the startup ecosystem or for the entrepreneurship. Like so, we have the incubator accelerator. So the famous incubator like YC, like based on Bay Area, helps founders for the funding, for the mentorship they provide. YC is a big name in the startup ecosystem. And then we have Sequoia Capital. So there are a lot of players, there are a lot of hacker houses. In SF, they give grants, like we have AI grants. We have a lot of things in the tech domain which are supported by different tech communities all over the world. When we talk about in India, I think in India we have the startup India scheme, which is run by our government, in which they give some grants to the startup owner or help the startup founder to go further more in their journey and give their mentorship and other monetary benefits related to the government scheme, right? So next we have the identification opportunities and ideation. Suppose if I want to create a startup, first step would be a market research. Suppose I want to build an application which is related to the food delivery system. So first I need to identify the audience and conduct a market analysis for that particular thing. Because when I was doing or building a startup, so it's very important to do market research first because it's tell what are the loopholes and what are the different things which is surrounding your problem. Because sometimes it is seen that starting something to solve a problem but it already have a lot of substitutes. So it's very hard to get into enter and make your own big name in that industry, right? So market research is very important and to see your competitor and how much funding they have and what are the technology they are using and how you are different from that, right? Second, we have the idea generation. So as I told, your computer has same solution similar to you. So what identified you? So it's very important to find a unique idea or something most unique so that you can sell to the larger audience. Next and the final step would be a little confusing step for most of the founders. And nowadays, this is seen that most of the founders are going for this uh, uh, valuation and selection because we have seen that many startup founders or many startups they are bankrupt but the valuation goes sky and sky because the main game of valuation is dependent on the amount of revenue you are doing right and the amount of sales you are having. So it's in India it's very seen that most of the startup try to get more uh, to raise more money in higher valuation because end of the day the company will only get the profit by the selling a specific service or product. So if a startup, there is a high chance it will be acquired by the big shop, right? So it's very important for the founder to get a high valuation for their startup so that if they want to get an exit or if they want to value their shares, so that they can get a good benefit out of it. So next we have the business planning and the flexibility analysis. So now our startup is done, everything is done. Let's talk about a little bit more things like which we need to follow while we are building our startup. So first would be the risk management or risk assessment, you can say. So it's important to identify the potential risks and the challenges you will face in that journey because startup journey is not easy. As we know, 1 out of 100 startups get failed. So it's very important to have a good backup or have some plan B around your startup. You can pivot also, you can pivot your idea, you can do something, but it's very important to take some risk management, risk assessment for yourself and for your family and other things, right? So, other we have the financial projection. As you all know, if we are in a startup, if you are in a bootstrap startup, we are paying the cost from our pocket. So, it's very important to make a financial plan according to our like capacity, right? So, then we have operational planning. Suppose if I'm selling something goes just related to clothing, so it's very important to find the potential supply chain production and other things so that I can get a good price and all, right? So, next slide we have the legal regulatory environment for startups. So it's very important uh, to do legal things for the startup because many cases, like most startup have their own physical structural property which we have to trademark because we have to patent it. Because when the company will grow, so it's very important to have the trademark and the copyrighted because somehow other people will like copy your logo or copy your trademark or copy your idea. So it's very important to have some legal support for the industry. So it's very important for the founders to know the basic knowledge of legal and other things which is related to the startup ecosystem, right? So next we have managing a small enterprise operation, finance and marketing. So in this slide, it's all it's all about the operation management, financial management, marketing study, and all. So they are giving the roles what they have to do. So it's very important to find a team when you are building something. It's very hard to find a team that is motivational as you can to pick to work on your ideas. It's very important whenever you're hiring a person or some folks which are working on your startups. So you have to be very good at finding people because in most companies we have seen that people will go here and there because of the packaging and other things. So it's very important to find your core team and build a good founder team, right? So in this slide, we have key takeaways from the entrepreneurship course. So, so in this whole one most course, I've learned about the startup and what are the importance of startup and how you can start, what are the identification and how you can uh, do funding, seed funding, and like so. What are the programs which are related to startup and other things, and how I can start a startup, growth, legal, and everything more about the startup. So yeah, this is all about the MOOC course and these things I have learned to this MOOC course and entrepreneurship development and other things which I already knew or I have looked up for other medium or taken other courses. So I combined all this knowledge and present a slide. Yeah, thank you.